Hey everybody, I'm Matt Drewette-Card. I'm the curriculum coordinator for AOS 94, Maine, which is centered out of Dexter. And what I'm doing today is I'm just going to very quickly go through how our district is going through a standards-based learning model and what we're doing about grading in that particular area. A little bit of the how and the why. Shouldn't take too long. Those of you who have joined, hi, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Um, it shouldn't take too long, but I wanted to just kind of showcase some of the how and the why and where we're heading and how we kind of think it's a great direction for folks. So we started off here with this work fight from Tom Gusky, looking at the problems with averaging and the different ways that all the students can get a 79 or a C. And we started to ask questions about why is it that this is okay? Why is it that we know that students can achieve a grade, yet there's such variance in how they do? I mean, I look at number 3, for example, who goes from a 77 to an 80 all the way over. Never really does great, but does enough to get to a C. Does that student ever show proficiency? Does that student ever really show mastery in any area? If this was, if all those units had to do with flying a plane or landing a plane, would you trust that student? I don't know. I would trust number 6. I would trust number 7. To an extent, I trust number 5 too. I think that, there's other reasons why that student got in there or lost those things. But so we started to ask questions about the grading. And so we started to change how we grade. One of the first ways, one of the most important things that we've done to change our grading is defining proficiency, defining what it means to be proficient. And what we've gone and done is created this language, independently apply all expectations. Those 4 words, those simple 4 words right there are very important because to have a rigorous, to use rigorous standards, have a rigorous instructional platform, you need to have 2 components minimally. Rigor is comprised of student autonomy and cognitive complexity. And so independently gets the words of autonomy and apply gets the words of complexity. We believe that all kids are able to learn. We believe that all kids are able to be proficient. All kids are able to perform. And that goes to all different kids. So no matter what their background, no matter what their exceptionality, they can achieve, they can perform. And then our expectations are the habits of work. The Common Core standards, the Next Generation Science standards, our main guiding principles, our expectations. So independently applying all expectations. Well, what we knew is that going back to this kind of a system is not going to work for proficiency. So what we've developed is a scale. If I can turn it like this now. Back to portrait. There we go. A scale that's going to better mirror what it is that we are trying to do and trying to measure. Now, a lot of people are familiar with the 4-point scale. You'll notice that at the high school level, which is here, at the 3s and the 2 levels, we've actually kind of broken them out a little bit more to try to encourage our parents and our students to not average our numbers together because it's kind of hard to average a 3H and a 3M. And those numbers are tied to this language over here. Innovating, applying, developing, beginning, and not yet assessed or no evidence. And there are definitions for each. So innovating is student has performed above the expected complexity level, independently, included all necessary content, and so on and so forth. You can pause this and read this at your leisure if you were to so choose. Here's where we're taking our next step. We have this 4-point scale, and what we are starting to do, what we are doing is we are eliminating the numbers to simply focus on the language. This is what's going to be going into grade books. We can have the numbers on the back end hidden for GPA, for honor roll, for eligibility, all those things that are still important to our communities as we are transitioning. But this is how we are going about developing our scale. Further, turn this like this.
Our proficiency scales are written in the same way, using the same language: innovating, applying, developing, beginning. And what you'll see is on the left, for our scales here, you have the explanations here, and then our teachers will be able to fill in on the right side with what their specifics are. So as we're getting used to this common language, we can keep it going. We can make sure that everyone is on the same page and everyone is doing the same kind of work. And it's really not that far away from what we've always done, but it can be a significant change to some, especially when you get back to this this language here being what we're talking about. What I really hope is that this language, as we start talking with our kids, they're going to stop doing things like, oh, what'd you get, a 2? Oh, I just got a 3. Instead, they're going to say, well, I'm developing, I'm beginning, I'm applying. They'll be able to use language to promote more of a growth mindset versus a grade mindset. And with that, we're really hoping that there's some of the cogs, some of the changes that we're having to get to our students to this definition of proficiency.
That's it for me. Wanted just to share a little bit of that with you. And thank you for watching, and take care.